Hello everyone. In this lesson, we will introduce the emergency generator system. This page mainly shows the starting and stopping of the emergency generator prime mover and the parameters related to each piping system. On the left side of the panel is the emergency generator control box. There are two related control boxes. The control panel you see here is the emergency generator set auto start control panel. It is used to control the start and stop of emergency generators and to monitor them during running. Another control panel is a battery charger for emergency generator set. In addition to these two control panels, in the middle and right areas of the panel is a prime mover and accessory piping of the prime mover. Let's take a look at each of these elements. First, the emergency generator set auto start control panel. There are two rows of indicator lights on the top of the control panel. The first is a power indicator on the control box. This is auto start standby indicator. Engine running. Start failure indicator. It is important to note that the emergency generator is not going to alarm immediately if it doesn't work for the first time. But after 3 failed attempts at startup, then the emergency generator is confirmed to be unable to start normally. The alarm will be triggered. This indicator is used to indicate the overspeed failure of the emergency generator. Note that the name of the indicator contains trip. It means that the emergency generator will be directly shut down after an overspeed failure occurs. The overspeed setting speed of the emergency generator is usually 112% to 115% of the rated speed. The mothership's corresponding emergency generator prime mover has a rated speed of 1,800 revolutions per minute. So, its overspeed is in the range of 2016 to 2070. This is cooling freshwater high temperature alarm. Lubricating oil low pressure alarm. Lubricating oil high temperature alarm. Battery charger fault alarm. Tachometer fuel alarm. Overspeed trip and fuel oil valve circuit fault alarm. Cooling freshwater low pressure alarm. The last one is a Plc Error Alarm. The PLC is installed in the control box to monitor the start, stop, and operation of the emergency generator. If the PLC fails, the emergency generator is not working properly. In the middle of the control panel are 5 instruments. The one in the middle is the running speed of the emergency generator and the accumulated running hours. In the simulator, the cumulative running hours of the device are calculated based on the current running time of the simulator. If the simulator is closed, the corresponding running hours are cleared. If it's not closed, the corresponding running hours are continuously accumulated. The other 4 meters are the parameters closely related to the startup and operation of the emergency generator. Respectively is the starting battery voltage, cooling water temperature, lubricating oil pressure, lubricating oil temperature, These parameters are the most important parameters in the running of emergency diesel generator. Below this panel are buttons and switches. These are the start and stop buttons. This is the reset button. If the emergency generator failure, after the fault has been eliminated, the fault needs to be reset at reset button. Otherwise, the fault has not been eliminated. You can't start the emergency generator. This button is used to test the lights and sounds on these indicators above the emergency generator. The indicators above are used to provide an alarm for visual access. This button silences the ringing of the bell when the alarm goes off. This switch is used to turn on or turn off the power supply of the control panel. Mode switch has two positions. One is manual and the other is automatic. Manual means local operation. If the emergency generator is to be started and stopped on the emergency control panel, you need to put the switch in a manual position. When the switch is in auto position, the emergency generator can be automatically started and stopped on the emergency switchboard. It is determined by the internal procedures of the emergency switchboard. If the main switchboard is out of power, the emergency generator control mode on the emergency switchboard is in the automatic position, and this switch chose in the automatic position. The auto start standby indicator is also on. The emergency generator will automatically start and close under the control of the emergency switchboard. This is a local speed adjuster switch. It can adjust the speed of the emergency generator. If the frequency currently emitted by the emergency generator is abnormal, the frequency can be adjusted to the desired frequency by means of this governor switch. The last one is the emergency stop button. It's a self-locking button. That is to say, it needs to be reset manually after being pressed. Otherwise, the switch remains in effect. The emergency generator cannot be started at this time. If all conditions are ready, the emergency generator cannot be started. The emergency stop switch should be checked to see if it was accidentally pressed. This is the introduction of each control element on the emergency generator set auto start control panel. The next is a battery charger for emergency generator set panel. This page is relatively simple. This is a source indicator for the charger. This is the battery low voltage alarm indicator. The lower two meters are used to indicate the current and voltage of the charger. This is a charge mode selector switch. Select the charging mode as equality charging or floating charging mode. At the bottom is a power source switch for the charger. If you switch it off, at this point, the battery will only consume electricity and will not be recharged. On the ship, the switch is normally closed. Ensure that the starting battery of the emergency generator is always in the state of equality charge or floating charge. The battery charged at all times, and the emergency generator is available all the time. Now let's look at the various lines of emergency generator. The brown inside of these lines represents the fuel system. The blue represents freshwater system. The yellow represents the lube oil system. The pink here is the hydraulic starting system. The orange is the wiring of the starter battery. There are several parts of these piping that need to be understood. Here is a temperature control valve. The temperature control range of temperature control valve is from 82 to 93. In practice, according to the change in load, the temperature of temperature control valve will vary. If the load is high, the water temperature will be controlled to 93 Celsius degrees. If the load is low, like when it's at no load, the water temperature can only be controlled to 82 Celsius degrees. This is the tank of the freshwater system. There is a fan symbol on the left side of the tank. That means this tank is an air-cooled tank. There is a mechanical feed pump at the outlet of the water tank. Below the feed pump is a symbol for coupling. That means it's a mechanical pump, not an electric pump. There is a freshwater preheater on the left side of the feed pump. The on-off temperature of this preheater is between 40 to 50 degrees. The corresponding switch will close below 40 degrees. Above 50 degrees, the corresponding switch will be open, controlled by such a switch. To ensure that the water temperature of the emergency generator is relatively high. The left part is the electric starting line and the hydraulic starting line of the emergency generator. According to the relevant requirements, the emergency generator has at least 2 independent starting energy. There are 4 common starting modes of emergency generators on board ships. The first is to start with a DC 24-volt battery. The second is the use of hydraulic oil starting. The third is the use of compressed air starting. The fourth is the use of energy storage spring starting. The emergency generator starting mode shown in this page is battery starting and hydraulic oil starting. The lower part is the hydraulic oil starter. The top part is the battery starter. This is the introduction of the emergency generator system page.